Afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to my Mazda 6 from the year 2012, where up until a few days ago, it had a fully functioning and working Bluetooth system. I could take calls and receive calls through my car, or I could also play a lot of MP3s and podcasts, which I'm a big fan of doing, through my phone, through the car's Bluetooth system. But then I made one simple mistake, and that was updating this phone. It seems that Samsung's One UI 8.0 has effectively cut my car's Bluetooth system in half. So once again, welcome to my Mazda 6 from 2012. Yes, that does mean this is a 13-year-old vehicle in the year 2025, but it has been an absolutely brilliant purchase, and this has been one of my favorite cars. I've owned plenty of cars, a lot more sporty and turbo cars than this, but this thing just works and have not had a single issue with it in the 2.5 years that I've owned it. Just basic maintenance, new tires when it's needed, brakes, all of those things that, do wear out and do need replacing, but nothing's gone bang. Nothing's just stopped working. Nothing's needed deep analysis or all that kind of stuff until the headaches with the Bluetooth system. So this is the in-car entertainment system of a Mazda 6 2012 Touring Edition here in Australia. And as you can see, it was pretty good for 2012 technology levels. You've got all your usuals in there, including AM and FM. You've got 6 presets. You've also got CD. I think it's 5 or 6 discs that you can put in there at once, which is awesome. You've got AUX, and the port for that is in here. Not that I've actually needed it or used it. There it is. A little bit dusty, but it's there. That's an option. You can play burnt CDs on it, which I'm very, very happy about, if you still have a CD burner, that is. But more importantly, you can Bluetooth. And when you do, up the top here, there will be a couple of symbols, one for a phone to signify that, yes, you can make phone calls for it. And then there's another symbol that'll also say, hey, we can also play files off your phone. And that's what I've been doing with this particular phone. My phone is a Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus. Got it last year, and you can check out my thoughts and initial review of this a couple of days into ownership from a previous video, and here's the link to that. Up until recently, my phone, this car, best mates. No problems at all. They've been getting on famously. And I love the fact that any podcast that I've been listening to, whether I'm working in the shed or I've just gone for a walk and then I jump into the car, will continue to be played where I left off as soon as I get in here. I'll reverse down the driveway. The system scans my phone and goes, oh, he's up to here on the Jim Cornette Experience or Tim Ferriss or Sizzletown, and picks up where I left off, which I've really, really enjoyed. In the mood for music, I've got plenty of MP3s on this, and I could sync them to the system, to the speakers here in the Mazda. Recently, though, the One UI 8.0 update came out for this particular model phone. And while there are so many videos explaining the benefits and the differences between this and the last update, I couldn't find anything about the fact that it may have knocked out half of my Bluetooth, because all of a sudden, my two options, phone and play files, music files and podcasts, has been cut down to one, phone. I can still make phone calls through the car's system. I can still receive and talk to people while I'm driving. I can't play anything. And at first I thought, okay, that must be an issue with my particular car. And I looked at ways of resetting things. There's so many different ways to reset this unit, apparently. None of them seem to work for an Australian model for whatever reason. Combinations of press this button, this button, this button, and hold it down for 10 seconds, and then it'll do this. Take the negative terminal off the battery and reset it and come back and hold down the brake. I went through so many different options, and in the end, I couldn't get this thing to reset. I deleted the entry in the car for this phone, and vice versa. I deleted the car's entry in this phone. I tried to sync them up. Again, it connects, and I had that second icon for a second, and then it just disappeared. And I couldn't work out what was broken, what had gone on. And then I realized that, no, it wasn't anything that was broken. Well, technically, I didn't break anything. I just updated this phone to Samsung's One UI 8.0, and all of a sudden, half the capabilities in my car have been cut short. And then I did a quick Google and found out that it's not just a Mazda thing, because I thought, oh, maybe it's a particular Mazda issue with the component in there. Their Bluetooth is not up to snuff. No, apparently people have been having problems with this latest update, and Mitsubishi systems as well. We're talking Lancers and Outlanders, for example, 2014 and onwards. So cars that are younger than my 13-year-old cruiser here, they're also having issues playing stuff off their phone, or the fact that they can't play stuff off the phone. And it's infuriating because, like me, a lot of people like to listen to stuff off their phone, and I can't do that anymore. There's a great Reddit community about UI and all the things that it does. I found out that some people are having Bluetooth problems with other devices, including their hearing aids. So I guess the point of this video is that if you've got to this point and you can't work out what's going on, like you've got a Mazda 6 from this vintage, I think it's a GH series, and all of a sudden your options have been cut in half Bluetooth-wise, if you've updated your phone, there is more than a fair chance that it is an update. If you've got a Samsung phone, one of the recent ones, S24, S25, you've updated it, and suddenly your car from more than 10 years ago, the factory Bluetooth isn't having a fun time, there's every chance that it's actually coming from this update, which means we're at the mercy, effectively, of Samsung fixing this bugged update, and hopefully they'll release a patch soon. Please, if you're about to go through the process of restarting everything and pulling fuses and disconnecting batteries, save yourself some time, save yourself some angst. Unfortunately, that's not going to do the trick until someone comes along and says, you need to change this Bluetooth setting in your phone, which I haven't discovered yet, or Samsung itself releases an update for their operating system. We are pretty much out of luck at the moment, which is really, really frustrating. I still listen to my podcast through my headphones. That's fine. It's just something I can't do in the car. That's where we are. However, if you own a car of this vintage and you figured this out, please, by all means, share how you got it working and how you got it synced up, more than just the phone in a comment below. I'd really appreciate that. In the meantime, I will just continue to endure this current frustration. It's just annoying that you'd think when things get updated, it should be able to do more, and of course it does more, but it seems to come at the expense of something that I loved. So I'm not really that keen on new One UI 8.0 features. I haven't explored any, especially when it's taken away a feature in my car that I've been relying on so much. So yeah, like I said, if you've got any solution to this problem, or maybe you've got the problem as well, please let us know down below in a comment. I think the more that Samsung becomes aware of what's happening behind the scenes, the more hopefully they'll be proactive in fixing them and sending out a fix and sending out a patch. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck.